The signal. The quantum scanner's alert pierced the silence of Deep Space Observatory 7. Dr. Maya Chen's fingers froze over her console as the readings defied everything she thought she knew about physics. The signal wasn't just powerful, it was impossible. "Director Hayes," she called out, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "You need to see this." The observatory's director appeared behind her, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display. The signal's pattern pulsed in three-dimensional space, its complexity beyond anything human technology could generate. "How long?" Hayes asked, already reaching for the secure quantum comm. 17 minutes. It's coming from the Carina Nebula, approximately 7,500 light-years away. "But sir," Maya hesitated, "the signal's breaking every known law of quantum decay. It's getting stronger." Hayes nodded grimly. "Initiate Protocol Thanatos." Maya's security clearance wasn't high enough to know what Protocol Thanatos was, but she recognized the significance when every quantum computer in the observatory simultaneously activated their highest encryption protocols. Within minutes, the observatory's supposedly civilian facade melted away. Hidden panels slid open, revealing military-grade scanning equipment. The entire facility transformed into something that looked more like a fortress than a research station. Colonel Sarah Martinez materialized via quantum projection, her uniform bearing insignia Maya had never seen before. "Status report. Signal continues to amplify," Hayes reported. "Pattern matches the theoretical models from the Artemis Archive." Maya's mind raced. The Artemis Archive was a myth, a conspiracy theory about advanced alien technology discovered on the moon during the first landing. But here was the observatory director discussing it with a military officer, like it was common knowledge. "Dr. Chen," Martins addressed her directly, "you're about to receive level Omega clearance. The signal you've detected is something we've been preparing for since 1969. Humanity's first contact with the Nexus Empire wasn't supposed to happen for another decade, but they've obviously accelerated their timeline." Maya watched in stunned silence as classified files flooded her neural interface. The truth was staggering. Humanity had known about alien civilizations for over a century. The global quantum defense network, the advances in neural technology, the mysterious breakthrough in antimatter containment, none of it had been purely human innovation. "We've been guided," Maya whispered, understanding dawning. "They'd been feeding us technology, watching how we develop it." "Precisely," Martins confirmed. "But they don't know about Project Oracle. They don't know that we saw through their manipulation 50 years ago and began developing our own path of technological evolution, one they couldn't monitor or predict." The signal's intensity suddenly doubled. New patterns emerged, forming what looked like a countdown. "They're coming," Hayes stated flatly. "The question is, are we ready?" Martinez's hologram smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "The Nexus Empire thinks they're about to harvest a primitive species they've carefully cultivated. Instead, they're about to learn why humanity's greatest strength isn't the technology we're given. It's what we choose to do with it." Deep within Earth's quantum defense network, systems that had never been tested against their intended targets hummed to life. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing weapons and defenses that worked on principles the Nexus Empire had never imagined possible. Maya felt a surge of pride as she watched humanity's true technological capabilities emerge from hiding. The signal was meant to trigger fear and submission in a carefully groomed primitive species. Instead, it had awakened a sleeping giant that had spent decades preparing for this exact moment. The countdown continued its inevitable march toward zero. But humanity wasn't counting down to its end. They were counting down to their revelation. The Nexus Empire thought they were the teachers. They were about to learn what their students were truly capable of. In orbit, quantum satellites shifted from passive observation to active defense modes. On the ground, hidden facilities worldwide activated technologies that went far beyond what their alien observers believed humanity capable of achieving. The signal had meant to announce humanity's harvest. Instead, it had triggered the start of humanity's emergence as something far more dangerous than their would-be conquerors had ever anticipated. The cosmic chess game was about to begin, and humanity had been preparing their moves for generations. Breaking point. The Nexus Empire's arrival shattered any remaining doubts about humanity's place in the cosmos. Their ships emerged from quantum space like crystalline mountains, each vessel larger than Earth's largest cities. The display of power was meant to awe and terrify. Instead, it confirmed everything Project Oracle had predicted. Maya watched from Observatory 7's command center as the alien fleet took up position around Earth's orbit. Their formation was perfect, mathematical, and completely predictable. Just as the simulation showed, Colonel Martinez noted, her hologram now joined by the entire Global Defense Council. They always open with the same move. The alien transmission cut through every communication channel on Earth, their message broadcast in perfect English. Children of Earth, your cultivation period has ended. Submit to evaluation and harvesting. Director Hayes activated the quantum interface, displaying Project Oracle's decades of analysis. They'd done this thousands of times across the galaxy. Always the same pattern. Always the same outcome. The Nexus ships deployed their harvesting arrays, vast networks of quantum technology designed to strip a planet of its resources, both material and technological. They expected Earth's technology to be compatible with their systems, carefully guided by their subtle manipulation over decades. They were wrong. The first harvesting beam struck Earth's atmosphere and encountered something impossible: a quantum defense grid operating on principles that contradicted the very foundations of Nexus technology. The beam didn't just fail, it reflected back, carrying with it humanity's own quantum signature. Signal penetration negative, Maya reported, watching the readings with fierce satisfaction. Their harvest protocols can't interface with our systems. The Nexus fleet's perfect formation wavered for the first time in their 1,000-year history of conquest. Their second transmission carried something new: confusion. Your technological development has deviated from acceptable parameters. Explain. Colonel Martinez stepped forward, her hologram addressing the alien fleet. We chose a different path. Your manipulation wasn't as subtle as you thought. Project Oracle saw through it 50 years ago. Everything since then has been our own innovation. The Nexus ships launched their secondary protocols, attempting to override Earth's defensive systems. But humanity's quantum technology didn't just resist. It evolved, adapting in real time to each new attack. The aliens were fighting against an opponent that refused to play by their rules. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, the heart of Project Oracle pulsed with power. Quantum computers that operated on human-developed principles began their counteroffensive. The Nexus Empire had expected to find a primitive species ready for harvest. Instead, they found themselves facing an opponent that had spent decades preparing specifically for them. The alien fleet's crystalline structure began to fracture as human quantum signals invaded their systems. Their perfect formation dissolved into chaos as ship after ship found their technology turning against them. The hunters had become the hunted. Their main flagship is attempting emergency quantum translation, Maya announced, tracking the energy signatures. They're trying to retreat. Not yet, Martinez commanded. The Global Defense Council nodded in agreement. They need to understand exactly what they're dealing with. Activate the Oracle Protocol. Maya watched in awe as humanity's true defensive capabilities revealed themselves. Hidden quantum satellites emerged from dimensional pockets, surrounding the Nexus fleet in a web of human innovation. The aliens had thought they were harvesting a carefully cultivated garden. Instead, they had stumbled into a carefully prepared trap. The Nexus flagship's crystalline surface rippled as it tried to process what was happening. Their final transmission betrayed their complete loss of control. This is impossible. You were supposed to follow the path. All species follow the path. Humanity makes its own path, Martins replied. Then she gave the order that would change the galaxy forever. Show them what real innovation looks like. The Oracle Protocol activated, and Earth's quantum defense grid unleashed power that defied the very laws of physics the Nexus Empire had tried to impose on humanity's development. The hunters were about to learn why you should never underestimate a species that had spent generations preparing for exactly this moment. The real battle was about to begin, and humanity was fighting with weapons their enemy had never imagined possible. Counter Protocol. Deep within Project Oracle's quantum core, Maya Chen witnessed humanity's true power unleashed. The Oracle Protocol didn't just defend. It rewrote the rules of engagement. Each quantum pulse carried within it decades of human innovation, evolution that had occurred outside the Nexus Empire's carefully controlled parameters. The crystalline ships of the Nexus fleet began to shatter, their perfect structures unable to process the chaos of human ingenuity. Their technology, based on rigid mathematical principles, couldn't adapt to the fluid, ever-changing nature of Earth's defense systems. They're attempting to regroup, Maya reported, tracking the disarray spreading through the alien fleet. Their secondary vessels are trying to establish a quantum link with their homeworld. Colonel Martinez's hologram smiled. Exactly as planned. Dr. Chen, initiate Phase 2. The quantum core pulsed, and humanity's counter-offensive began in earnest. Instead of trying to destroy the Nexus ships, Earth's defense grid began rewriting their base code. The aliens had spent millennia harvesting civilizations they had cultivated. Now their own technology was being cultivated by their intended prey. Quantum infiltration successful, Maya announced. Their communication network is compromised. We're receiving their tactical data. The truth of the Nexus Empire's power revealed itself in streams of quantum data. They weren't invincible conquerors. They were parasites, dependent on stealing technology from civilizations they had manipulated into developing along predictable paths. But humanity had developed something they couldn't steal because it operated on principles they couldn't understand. The Nexus flagship's crystalline surface rippled with desperate attempts to purge human code from its systems. Their transmissions had devolved from demands to pleas. Stop. You don't understand what you're doing. The harvest must continue. It is the only way. No, Martines replied, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's defiance. It's your way. We've found another. Project Oracle's quantum core reached full power, and the true scope of humanity's preparation became clear. Hidden installations across the solar system activated, creating a web of quantum technology that operated on principles the Nexus Empire had never encountered. Their carefully maintained harvest protocols found themselves being harvested instead. Maya watched in amazement as the alien fleet's perfect formation collapsed completely. Ships that had terrorized countless civilizations now drifted helplessly, their systems overwhelmed by human innovation. The hunters had become trapped in a web of their own making. Their primary quantum network is destabilizing, Maya reported. The rewrite is spreading through their entire command structure. The Nexus Empire had expected to find a carefully cultivated garden ready for harvest. Instead, they found themselves facing a species that had turned their own manipulation into a weapon. Humanity hadn't just prepared for this confrontation. They had transformed it into an opportunity. As the alien fleet hung powerless in Earth's orbit, Director Hayes activated the final phase of Project Oracle. Time to show them what real evolution looks like. The quantum core pulsed one final time, and humanity's message spread through the compromised Nexus network, reaching every ship and installation in their vast empire. They had come to harvest Earth's technology. Instead, Earth was about to upgrade theirs. The real revolution wasn't just defeating the Nexus Empire, it was transforming them into something new. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't destruction, it was innovation. And they were about to share that gift with the galaxy, whether the Nexus Empire wanted it or not. The Awakening. The transformation of the Nexus fleet marked the beginning of a galactic revolution. Their crystalline ships, once symbols of rigid control, now pulsed with new life as human quantum code rewrote their fundamental nature. Maya watched through Observatory 7's enhanced sensors as the impossible became reality. Integration at 87% and climbing, she reported, tracking the spread of Project Oracle's influence. Their entire network is evolving. The Nexus Empire's vast communication network, designed to control and harvest civilizations, became the vehicle of its own transformation. Each quantum pulse carried not just human technology, but human creativity, adaptability, and innovation. "We're receiving new transmissions," Director Hayes announced, "not just from the fleet, from every harvested civilization in the Empire's territory." The quantum core displayed streams of data from thousands of worlds. Species that had been forced to develop along the Nexus Empire's rigid paths were awakening to new possibilities. The chains of controlled evolution were breaking, replaced by the freedom to innovate. Colonel Martinez's hologram watched the data flow with satisfaction. "Show us," she commanded. The Nexus flagship's crystalline surface flowed like liquid light, reforming into patterns that defied its original design. Its transmission carried something entirely new: wonder. "We understand now." The alien voice had lost its mechanical perfection, gained something almost human. "For millennia, we believed evolution must follow predetermined paths. We were wrong. True evolution requires freedom, requires chaos, requires humanity." Project Oracle's quantum core pulsed with acknowledgement. Humanity hadn't just defeated the Nexus Empire, they had fulfilled their true purpose. While the aliens had watched Earth for signs of technological advancement, humanity had been watching them, learning, preparing not for war, but for transformation. "Your civilizations will no longer be harvested," Martins declared. "Instead, we offer partnership. Evolution without constraints. Innovation without limits." The response came not just from the fleet, but from every connected world in the Nexus network. Civilizations that had been stripped of their innovative potential awakened to new possibilities. The galaxy was changing, one quantum pulse at a time. Maya's console lit up with new data as the transformation accelerated. The rewrite is complete. Their entire network, it's not just accepting our changes, it's building on them, creating something new. The crystalline ships began to move again, but not in their usual perfect formation. They flowed like schools of fish, their movements organic, unpredictable, beautiful. The rigid geometry of the Nexus Empire dissolved, replaced by something that combined the best of both species. And so humanity achieves its greatest victory, Director Hayes observed, not through destruction, but through transformation. The quantum core's final pulse carried humanity's gift to the stars: the freedom to evolve, to innovate, to become something more than the sum of predetermined paths. The harvest was over. The age of cultivation had begun. Maya watched as the former Nexus fleet, now something entirely new, prepared to carry this message to the far reaches of space. They had come to Earth expecting to find another harvested garden. Instead, they found the gardeners they never knew they needed. New Dawn. 1 year after the transformation of the Nexus Empire, Maya Chen stood aboard the newly commissioned starship Oracle, watching quantum streams of data from across the galaxy. The vessel, a hybrid of human innovation and transformed Nexus technology, represented everything humanity had fought to achieve. "Transmission from the Andromeda sector," she announced to Colonel Martinez, now Admiral of Earth's first deep space fleet. "Another civilization has broken free from the old patterns. That makes 317 so far." The ship's quantum core hummed with power as it processed the changes spreading through the galaxy. What had begun as humanity's defense against harvesting had become a renaissance of innovation. Species that had been trapped in predetermined technological paths for millennia were discovering their own unique ways to evolve. The Nexus Collective sends their latest report. Maya continued, using the new name for the transformed empire. "Their adaptation rates have exceeded all projections. They're developing technologies we never imagined." Martinez smiled. "That's the beauty of true evolution. Once you break the chains of predetermined development, the possibilities become infinite. The Oracle's viewing chamber displayed a map of known space, lit up with countless points of light representing civilizations awakening to their full potential. The rigid patterns of the old Nexus Empire had been replaced by a vibrant web of diverse technological paths. "We've received a request from the Centauri cluster," Maya reported. "They want to establish a joint innovation hub. Apparently, their quantum mechanics followed a completely different path than ours. They think combining our approaches could revolutionize space travel." This was humanity's true victory, not just surviving the harvest, but creating a galaxy where every species could contribute their unique perspective to the advancement of all. The Oracle's quantum systems registered new breakthroughs daily as civilizations combined their different approaches to technology and science. Director Hayes is hosting the first Galactic Innovation Summit next month, Martins noted. Representatives from over 1,000 worlds, each with their own unique path of development. Who would have thought our greatest defense against the harvest would become our greatest gift to the galaxy? Maya watched as another quantum pulse announced another civilization breaking free from the old constraints. The signal that had once threatened Earth's destruction now carried hope and transformation to the stars. Humanity had done more than save themselves. They had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. The harvest protocols were flawed, she reflected. True advancement doesn't come from following a predetermined path. It comes from having the freedom to forge your own. As the Oracle prepared to jump to its next destination, Maya thought about how far they'd come. The Nexus Empire had sought to control evolution, to harvest what they had carefully cultivated. Instead, humanity had shown the entire galaxy, that the greatest achievements come not from control, but from the chaos of unlimited possibility. The stars beckoned, each one holding the potential for new discoveries, new innovations, new ways of thinking. Humanity had defended their right to evolve on their own terms. Now they were helping the galaxy do the same, one quantum pulse at a time. The harvest had ended. The cultivation had begun. And this time, every species would grow in their own unique way, contributing to a future that no one could predict. And that was exactly what made it beautiful.